But you never know that you could. And when you feel that way, ain't it good, good dancing in the red and gold. Dancing in the red and gold.
What's up, Faithful? Welcome to the 49er Faithful UK Live. As you can see, Gareth is away. He's left me in charge. So, as always, there's plenty to talk about, including who has won what in this year's Four Fuckers. I do have the toughest job in sports entertainment, as Gareth has dropped me in it. I have to keep these three in check, on track, no rabbit holes. Gareth, I'm not making any promises. But before we disappear down one and get into everything else and much, much more, joining me tonight, first up, the man, the myth. It is, of course, Najee Kara.
Hello, everyone. No text though. I just came out of the shower. Let's put something on. That's it. I have not even a Niners gear on. Never mind text.
It has been noted.
It's Chargers callers. It's fine.
Contract negotiations won't be easy next year, mind.
He scrubbed us off all his social media, Lee. Next, calm, collected, and probably still buzzing after a certain result in the Northeast at the weekend. It is, of course, El Presidente himself, Mr. Lee Gowland.
Now then, fellas, I've been smiling like this for the last 3 days.
Thought I'd get it in early, Lee, you know, let you have your moment. And finally, we couldn't have got the Four Fucker results show without the spreadsheet king himself. It is, of course, Kev Williams in the house. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Good evening, Faithful. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm purely here just to share screens. That's
a good title, though. King of Spreadsheets. That's very
King of Spreadsheets, yeah.
You're not here just for that, Kev. I mean, all jokes aside, the spreadsheet over the season and the fact that you've helped out with collecting all the information for the award show is a big help. And when Gareth said he couldn't host tonight, I was like, we need to get a fourth person in because it just keeps us on track. So we do appreciate you joining us. And
not a problem.
Me, Lee, and Kev all got the memo. Opening night tonight for the Giants. Najee is just...
I don't have Giants gear, so...
Oblivious.
I don't even have Giants gear, so because I don't follow baseball. So
I did only find out 5 minutes ago when Lee mentioned it that it was the opening night. So this is purely a fashion choice.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
So, chaps, lots to talk about. There's been some news dropped just before we went live. Where do you want to start, Lee? Do you want to start with the Australia news? Do you want to start with the results show? Where do you want to go?
We can start wherever you want to start, Paul. One thing I will say is it's going to be impossible for us to go down a rabbit hole tonight because we haven't prepared anything.
Shh, don't tell everybody that.
It's not different than every other night, is it?
It's not like...
I have to say, one of my favourite ever shows was a Saturday morning when me and Najee absolutely winged it. And then we realised about half an hour in, we hadn't pressed record. And then we had to start all over again. So, yeah, there's not much preparation, but I think we'll start with...
How about we start asking Kev what he thinks of free agency? We've talked about it a bit. What do you make of it?
I think you covered obviously a lot in the previous show. There's been a couple of signings since, but anybody who's a member of Discord will know how over the moon I was with the Mike Evans signing. Like literally, jersey going to be ordered as soon as the season starts. That's going to be on my back, no question about it. I feel as though he just offers us.
Fanatics order?
Fanatics, yeah. It'll come from the same region where Fanatics get them from. That's all I can say. But yeah, absolutely love the signing of Mike Evans. I feel as though we've not really had a receiver like him in recent times. Somebody a little bit different. Maybe Ayuk's obviously got more speed than Mike Evans, but somebody who can really, really go up there and wrestle the ball from somebody. We've got Pearsall, speedster. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that his knee holds out. Then Mike Evans complementing that, I think is great. I think overall, it's interesting what the strategy is. There's a lot of short-term signings of veterans. I think it's a kind of go and see what we can do by adding on to what we have. It's going to be. I think it's to see where the draft goes is going to be the next big key because a lot of veteran short-term contracts coming in the door, which I have no problem with. I quite like that. Quite like the experience. We've got a young team that got younger last season as well. We've got an older team, that got younger last season. Again, topping that with some good draft picks, hopefully. And yeah, I'm quite excited.
I mean, looking at the numbers, Nadji, David Lombardi tweeted out that we've added 7 players at a combined salary cap hit of 33.3 million. For comparison, Crosby alone accounts for 35.8 with the Raiders. So I think obviously this time of year, everyone's looking at the salary cap, the numbers. And as you said there, Kev, we've done some not splashy signings aside from Evans, but we've been quite sensible. And like you, I'm quite excited that they've made some moves. And, we don't have many draft picks, but we'll get into all that, won't we, Lee?
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely get in that. I like how you've put that value picks. I think that's pretty much spot on. We have got some value picks there. There is some decent free agents left, but whether or not we finished in the market, I think we probably are. I think we've strengthened the areas where we were particularly weak. And it just it flips what we think we're going to do in the draft now.
Yeah.
We've taken on 3 offensive linemen. We definitely not using picks 1 or 2 on an offensive lineman. That's guaranteed. We've brought in 2 wide receivers. We're getting, hopefully Pearsall is going to be fit. So we kind of got our 3 starting wide receivers there. So is it going to be wide receiver? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if we go defense with the first 2 picks. Possibly safety and a defensive tackle.
It'll be Kenyon Sadiq.
I hope it is. But I don't think he's dropping that far.
No, I do
not think he'll drop that far. He's not going to get into the 20s.
No, he'll go maybe even before 10, I reckon.
I think he'll go 13, Rams.
Yeah, potentially that would be very sad. I think I addressed it last time. Our biggest free agents are all the people we missed last year and are going to come back and play for us. And I agree with you. I think we added some interesting pieces, and also we just strengthened in places, just added depth in places we needed depth. The Osa Odigizue, I think that's great signing. That just makes us so much better all of a sudden. And we'll see what we do in the draft. I think it puts us in a position to pick what we want rather than what we need. And I think I always like that. You just fall in love with a player and he falls to you. You can maybe draft out, trade out, get second round, or trade up a little bit if you really want somebody very specific, because we don't really have glaring need apart from maybe left tackle if we want to develop somebody. That's it. So I think we're looking good. I think it should be a really fun draft. And
do you think we have a need at safety? Because all the analysts have put safety down as one of our needs. We've got Brown, we've got Mustafa, we've got Siegel.
And Siegel, yeah. I think depth wouldn't surprise me if we pick a safety to see because Brown will be on his 4th year now, so whether we renew him next year, depending how he plays. It's just I wouldn't be surprised if we sign a veteran safety down the line after June, just to shore up and get some experience and cam body type thing. Yeah, I agree with Paul. If we could get Dylan Finneman, that would be amazing. He's so good. But yeah, I don't think we need it. I think we could get by easily with Brown, Mustafa, and Siegel played really well last year. I'm excited to see what we can do in year 2. We've got a new defensive coordinator. God knows what he thinks of all these players that we added and all that. He wasn't with us last year, so there's a bit of uncertainty there, I guess. And the draft will tell us what we think of our defense if we just go full defense again.
I don't think we go for a safety at 27, Lee. And a lot of people are talking, Nadji, about that. We've only got picks in 3 rounds, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and 4 in the 4th. Kind of like, I don't think we have to hit on all of them, Lee. But sometimes, like when you've not got as many picks, you sometimes have to kind of be a bit more creative. And Shanahan's never really prioritised the positions that us as fans and content creators tend to. Wouldn't surprise me if we took a wide receiver at 27 and redshirted him, just what Carl would do. Equally, I think you talked last week, Lee, you'd like to see us trade out of that, wouldn't you? You'd like us to go back.
That'd be over the moon if we trade out of that and pick up a couple of another second round, a third round, and whatever else it takes for whichever team it is that trades up. I think that's we might get 3 picks out of that, so we might get a 2 and 2 3s. Don't know. It all depends on who we're trading with.
Yeah,
we might end up with another 4th. We might end.
We need third rounds.
4th round pick.
We need third rounds. Where are we going to find our running backs otherwise?
We don't need a running back. Najee Harris is on the way.
We're going to draft a running back in the 3rd round. That's what we do. He's not going to play ever, but that's what we're going to do.
So we've been joined
the draft just off the street to come in and run over 1,000 yards will be the plan.
That's what we do. Yeah.
So we've got Matthew joining us from Dallas, and he's saying it's his first time watching. So
welcome.
Much appreciated, buddy.
Yeah,
and as he's put in the comments there, it's good to know we have faithful in the UK. So welcome to the show, Matthew. Can't promise that there's no rabbit holes will disappear down, but if you stick around long enough, you'll get the inside joke. But draft season. Kev, done many mock drafts? Because Lee's slacking a bit this year, buddy.
No, not a single one. Not a single one. I just live for the moment.
Yeah, every time I try to do a mock draft, it says something like, "Sorry, don't have enough resources. It's all taken by Lee. So can't do anything."
Well, I was just about to say. I mean, Paul says I've been slacking this year. While we were all talking on air before we came on air, I was in the middle of a mock draft on PFF. And I did trade out of 7 as well. 27, sorry.
Yeah.
Traded out, got a second, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 2nd from next year as well.
So to be fair, Lee, I say you're slacking. You've done more than me, but we will be doing a live mock draft show. It's always one of the most hotly anticipated shows of the year, purely because we all prep. We all share our sheets, and then when we go live, that all goes out the window, and we don't stick to the script. But it's always a bit of fun, bit of laugh, isn't it, Najee?
It's fun. Didn't we pick Ashton Genty last year? Yeah, I think we did.
You
came to us. Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what tends to happen is there's a little bit of peer pressure. I won't use the word bullying, but there tends to be a bit of peer pressure. And I think that's what we mean. Like, I don't think any of us have gone that route, but I do like doing the mock drafts. I just haven't quite got into it yet. But, as I said before, Najee, you're the same as me, subscribing to The Athletic and seeing what all the content creators are talking about. And I think you're right. I think it's nice that we've addressed some holes and we don't kind of have to panic. But it is interesting to know what's going to happen.
That's key. I did find a really new cool mock draft website. Is actually a database of all the mock draft, which is I think is really cool. That's kind of summarize every single mock draft, and you can pick by team, you can pick by round, you can pick by everything. It's pretty cool. And then the consensus seems to be online, although I haven't been on it for a couple of weeks, for a week actually. So it might have changed since we signed Rob Jones. Should we talk about Rob Jones in a bit?
We will, because that's a very good sign. I think
I agree.
The consensus is O-line. That's because it's all the fans that are going on trying to pick O-line, wishing it into existence.
It's all the professional mock draft that it collates together. So there's like 70 or something like that, maybe. So it's all the press mock draft that people do, and then you can see what consensus player has been picked and everything. It's pretty interesting because mock drafts are just a crapshoot, really, aren't they?
It is. It's like the draft itself. To be fair. But we've been joined by Justin. He's just joined in the chat and said that he's just got here. He's got to leave for a few minutes for work. I know Justin tends to watch back, so do look forward to those comments, Justin. I had a bit of conversation with you last week. And as Colin put there, Najee, 49ers and the consensus drafts don't mix. But we talked last week, Kev, about Morris and will he have as much freedom as what Salah had last year? The jokes were Jed York was tweeting out and it was just defensive player after defensive player. And the fact that Morris is coming in, defensive coordinator, do we think we see some different schemes, personnel? There's a lot of talk about we might see 5-man defensive lines, something the Niners haven't used very often under Shanahan. But do you think Morris has as much freedom, Kev, or do you think that was just a one-off for Salah last year?
Yeah, it's difficult to say at this point, but I feel as though everything that was talked about in relation to Shanahan and Morris's relationship and how close they are and how much they trust one another and how much they've worked together in the past, I think there probably is a good amount of freedom for him to scheme up whatever he wants and also really feed into that draft as well. Whether or not we'll get so many defensive players in a row, I don't think we've got a specific need all of those, those areas like we did last season. But again, we tend to pick the players that are available that we feel fill our spots rather than going for like the best player in the draft. So again, it can completely depend what's available in what spots. So it's not writing off what happened last season can happen again. But yeah, I feel as though he will have a bit of free reign in terms of what he's going to do with that defense, what sort of player he wants. Maybe not as much as Salah because he's been there and proven it with us before. But I would hope so anyway. It's like we've talked in the past. You want somebody who can help on the offensive side of the ball as well, and Cal will listen to them and let them have a bit of control. You'd hope he would get that on the defense, especially somebody new coming in with that relationship and prior working relationship as well.
So you mentioned something there, Kev, about basically about availability, or you alluded to it when you said the same thing might happen this season as what happened last season. We get a glut of injuries. There's still one outstanding free agent who's pretty much at the end of his career, who would be worth bringing in because he's only ever missed 2 games in his career, and he's 37-year-old, and that's Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan has only ever missed 2 games.
I would
That's
love
durability. Yeah, availability is the best skill you can have.
Yeah. I mean, 100%.
It's just interesting, though, when you look at what he did with the Falcons last year, Lee. He had smaller, quicker edge players, Walker, James Pearce. And I think he's going to want to transition towards that, but I wouldn't be adverse to that signing. I've been a fan of his. I think he's getting ready to transition to being in the media and stuff. And then Richard's put a comment in here that we need a day one starter who will improve us. He believes that we have to draft better, best player available in round 1. And then another comment here, we need sacks and interceptions. So, edge and DB or vice versa. But, Lee, it's interesting.
It is, and I completely agree with Richard there. We have to draft better because we've had far too many misses in the draft. We haven't picked up enough high caliber players with the picks that we've had, and we went years where we were double figures with the amount of picks. I think it was 3-4 years running. So we've had plenty of opportunity to bring in high caliber players, but we just haven't managed to do it. Yes, we've hit on some good ones in rounds 4, 5, and 6. Brock Purdy was an absolute pearl of a pick back in 2022. But other than that, you look at our first rounds, and outside of Bosa, and potentially when we traded up for Ayuk, have we really hit? Not really.
Not really. I mean,
McGlinchey was solid. He was solid.
McGlinchey is
good.
good
Against in the pass protection, but he did the job for us because we were running team at the time, and so he was the ideal lineman for us at the time.
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean,
we transitioned away from that to passing now.
Solomon Thomas still in the league, still playing, still getting contracts.
Yeah.
He's a solid starter. He's not.
You're right, he was.
I give you
but
that.
He was vilified because he was a number 3 pick.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't really live up to the number 3 hype. But
that's right.
Neither did Trey Lance.
Neither did Trey. I mean, I think everything
we sold
is
the mortgage on. We sold the farm.
I think that everything is a little skewed because of the Trey Lance pick, and that didn't work. And then people are like, "Oh, we don't really draft really well." But Greenlaw, Warner, Kittle, Brock. Just Winters, so many of our so many of our superstar that we have, we drafted, we didn't bring in. The only one that we did really is CMC. Like Debo, we drafted, Ayuk, we drafted, and I know he's not playing with us, but he was good, right? Apart from Trent and CMC, like everybody else, we drafted pretty much, and so I think we draft okay. It's just going to be a lot harder this year with only 6 picks rather than 11 last year or something like that.
I kind of hope it focuses them.
Well, I was just going to say, Lee, the general consensus that this isn't a great draft. It's deep at some positions, Najee, but it's not like what we've seen over previous years. So it might be a good draft not to have that many picks. And I was going to say, Lee, I think, as you mentioned, Trey Lance and the fact that it's all, hindsight. I mentioned off air, some of the content creators are going back and doing redrafts and looking at the drafts. We did that last year. We looked at the draft classes and we gave it a grade. I don't know whether we'll do that this year, faithful, but it is a bit of a kind of guessing game. And as Tracy always says to me, you lot don't know what you're talking about. So Tracy, that's what we do every week.
No one does.
Why are you surprised?
No one does. No one does.
and that mock draft I did just before we came on air, I actually took Trey Lance's brother with number 58.
I'm so down for
that. Thing in the world if we draft him and give him the number 5 jersey. Everyone will be like,
I am so down for that. I'll be good to
get them back out the loft.
My Trey Lance jersey.
Bebop agrees there. Same what you said there, Nadji. You know, we hit in mid rounds. I suppose we're at that stage now where I don't watch a lot of college football, so I tend to dip into our Discord. I tend to talk to Gary Parks. I know yourself, Nadji, big into your college football, so I tend to lean into that. And then we're at that stage of the yearly where you watch what all the content creators are doing. I mean, Chapman tweeted that today's the day that he looks at all the 200 prospects that are linked with the Niners. And he does a deep dive on all their injuries, how much they've played, and then he releases his big draft book. And I'll be honest, Nadji, subscribe, get that. Have a read through. Cheers, John, for doing all the hard yards. But, you know, it's that time of year.
So it was interesting. Both JC and Breezy were on last night, and both of them turned around and said they've only got 20 first-round grades on the prospects. So Breezy came in with Kenyon Sadiq at number 20. That was his last first-round grade.
Yeah.
And John had Sadiq down as a second-round grade. Because he can't bring himself to put a tight end in the first round.
I'm going to say receiver,
was funny.
Bias.
Receiver, edge rusher, and tight end, apparently. They're the 3 position groups that I'm seeing mentioned a lot. And after that, apparently it takes a dive. And some people are saying that you might be best standing, you know, trading back picks for next year's draft. But the picks are always valuable at the moment, aren't they? Because it's the hope that kills you, which we always, you know, get involved with. So.
There's always going to be somebody that's overlooked that turns out to be an absolute pearl of a pick. Actually, I've got one for you. Right. And I think we can pick him up as an undrafted.
Does he play for Stanford?
Well. Nope. Plays for Hawaii.
I know, man. Is this guy you talked to us about last year?
This was this guy that I talked to you about 4 years ago.
4 years, yeah.
So I saw him play when he was a freshman. Hawaii Rainbow Warriors against San Jose State Spartans, and for a freshman he just completely stood out on that field. The angles he was taking, the speed, the reading of the quarterback, he was the only one on that field. And there's some of those players, I think the defensive end from the Spartans, I can't Kimiko or something like that, Kimiko, I don't know, somebody will know in the chat, I'm sure.
Somebody will know.
I'm sure he went the first round. No, he was a decent player, but it was him that stood out on that field. He was the one that I saw and thought, bloody hell, that kid's going to be good. And he was a freshman at the time. So he's had another 4 years experience there. These were his stats from the Hawaii Pro Day, which was just on Friday. And I think he's a great player. I'd love to find out where he goes to and follow his career.
I like
his combine. Was he at the combine? Did he get invited?
No, he didn't get invited to the combine. Okay. I mean, when you have a look at the most people's big boards, he doesn't even make the big board. On PFF, he doesn't make that bunch of safeties available to draft, which is why I'm thinking he's probably going to go as an undrafted free agent.
Probably. Hawaii is a tough team to go and scout. It's pretty far away.
Before we disappear off the draft talk, 2022, Lee, you mentioned that obviously the Niners drafted Brock. Now, I believe you and Nadji were there. Coincidence? I think not. You were there. We drafted Brock. You know, so you just putting out there before we move on. And I'll go through some of the comments.
I'm going to hold my hands up and say I talked it into existence while we stood there waiting. I said, it's going to be a quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback.
You did. That's very true.
So, comment here that says that we're filling the needs through free agency and supply. Looks like we'll go from there. Someone else, as Sadiq will be hard pass. Kittle is old, and Sadiq is a freak physically.
Yeah, Sadiq. If he's there, I'd love us to take him. It's basically Vernon Davis clone, but with a little bit better blocking.
He hopes that we draft DB. And
DB.
Richard.
I could see us go DB.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, corner.
I could see us doing it. I'd be surprised, but I could see us doing
it. Showing you the love.
Yeah,
the one that
you're not wrong there. Like, Underrated player. I've got 3 of his jerseys.
A couple of cards, bit of merchandise.
Yeah.
I think we could definitely go DB just to get some competition in the position. We could go wide receiver because as Kev said, we signed all these people for basically 1 year. It wouldn't be a bad thing to get a 5-year contract and develop somebody and have them maybe redshirted, definitely playing less this year and implementing him next year. There's always a bunch of ways we can go, but we're definitely going to draft D-line. That's what we do, right?
Yeah,
you're right. It is. I mean, that's what I said last week. We're going to go D-line.
D-line, yeah.
I think it's been interesting, like when fans, you put 2 and 2 together and you come up with 20. So the Falcons invested heavily at safety. So a lot of people are saying that means it's definitely happening. And then I went and did a bit of a deep dive. And when he was at the Rams, they didn't draft any safeties at all. So make of that what you want. So like you said, it's just, as Richard's put there, he doesn't believe we'll go DB in the first round. And Bebop does love Segel, but he thinks he's a bit undersized. So
I agree, but he plays angry, and that accounts for a lot.
So we've done quite well, Faithful. 26 minutes in. We haven't teased out any of the winners. Kev's got a spreadsheet ready. But before we dive into that, chaps, the Australian game was announced literally half an hour before we went live. Now, I know it was no shock to you, Lee, because it was always going to be a late game, but I dropped it in the Awesome Foursome group chat. And there's been a little bit of confusion, chaps, over what time that will be in the UK. So I'd like to announce a 6 o'clock watch party. Week 1. No, I'm joking. It's going to be a late game for us. I haven't got the connotations of the travel for the Niners, but it was always going to be week 1, so they could go out there beforehand. No surprise, chaps. It's going to be a red-eye game for us in the UK.
Always expected, but
yeah,
that's what Discord's there for, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the time difference. Not that I've ever slept in for a game and needed Lee to text me before,
It's a game in the future. They'll play Friday, it'll be Thursday for us, or something like that. It's pretty funny.
I know Chapman is going over there, so I know they're doing the Rush road trip, and I think there's a few from the UK faithful have circled that game, so it'll be interesting to see whether we are represented over there. But I think it's interesting that they don't normally announce many of the schedules before the draft. So the fact that we've already got week 1 penciled in, and I think the Seahawks have had to move to Wednesday night. Such a shame, because the Niners have had to make them move. But
the thing is, the Seahawks are going to get an extra day's rest as well before the second game of the season.
True. They're going to need it if you believe
which
Najee
no doubt
Hurrah.
Is going to be against us.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I would love to go. I've got plenty of friends living in Melbourne. I would absolutely love to go, but it's not going to happen. It's too far away.
It's not news as such, Najee, but in a way, like I said, when they announced the international games and the fact that they've announced Australia, Mexico, I like the fact that it took the guessing game away. We're not all sat announcing, the Niners come to London. And like I said, we knew they were going to announce that week 1 game was going to be a bit different because obviously it's the first game in Australia. So then there'll be the schedule to come out and then we'll look at the bye weeks. But
the one thing that's interesting is that it's a Thursday night game, right? And usually you only get maximum 2 of those. So that takes down one away.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which potentially is the only Thursday night game we'll get. So that's interesting.
It is. It completely screws up my plans straight away before the schedules even come up.
Yeah.
Because what I was looking for is obviously a Thursday night road game after a Sunday night home game, so I could do them both, get in 2 different cities. But that's kind of screwed me over for the second season in a row now.
Well, you could always do a Sunday into a Monday. That's still kind of a week almost. And then...
Wonder when the Mexico game will drop.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think that might be week 11, week 12. I think there's been something earlier where they said they were going to space them out.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Thursday or not, or whether they do it a Sunday.
I think we played the Cardinals on a Sunday last time, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
Was it a Sunday night game?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we played the Cardinals on a Sunday, and I'm pretty sure it was like an 9:30 UK game. It wasn't a late game from what I remember. I may be wrong off the number, but
so I
do know it was a Sunday game.
One of the things we can guarantee about that is that's not going to be a London watch party game.
Yeah.
What, the Australia game? No.
Well, neither the Australia game or the Cardinals game.
No, the Mexican game. Yeah.
Well, we say that, Lee, about the Australia game. Rocky tried to put on a watch party at 1 a.m. for the playoffs, remember? So she might, you know, it's not. But I would assume it's not going to be a watch party week 1, but we don't know any news yet, Faithful. So I won't tease that one.
Yeah, I don't think the time's that bad for Australia game. I quite like it. It's a little bit earlier, so sometimes you have that choice of do you nap or don't you? It kind of takes that choice away now. So I think you just power through. You stay up till 3, half 3, then you get a few hours kip. Join the Discord, enjoy the night. I think it'd be good.
So it was a Monday that we played in Mexico. Appreciate the chat for. I just know I watched the game live, and it didn't feel like it was daft o'clock in the morning.
The Australia game will probably be about 12:30 for us, 1:30 midnight. So that's not too bad.
I mean, before we move off that game, there's a lot of people talking about obviously the travel, the distance, you know, the impact it could have on the players. I mean, we travel a lot anyway. Is it something you chaps are worried about, or is it just it is what it is?
No, I mean, we're the most traveled team in the league anyway.
Yeah.
I think it does make a bit of a difference. I reckon we'll get an early bye week. We'll see. They're professionals. The fact that they'll be there probably a week or even more than that before. I think the game after that will be very difficult. But the good thing is week 1, week 2, even week 3 really is a bit of a crapshoot. No one's ready. Not really. No one's full speed. So hopefully we can squeak a win week 2 with tired bodies, and then we'll be all right. We'll see when the schedule comes out. If we have a gauntlet after it, if we play all the best team in the league right after, then it's definitely going to suck. But yeah, we'll see. There's no point. There's no point trying to speculate until we know what we're doing, where we're going. We'll probably be at home after, I would imagine. But yeah.
So we've been asked in the chat there about the flight. I'm not sure. I want to say
the shortest is 27 to Melbourne.
Is it 27 hours?
27 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
But does that include the time change?
Yeah. 27 hours.
Right. But you're not in the air for 27 hours.
No, I don't think so. I think the flight's probably. Oh, I don't know. No, it's 27 hours. You leave at certain time and you arrive 27 hours later.
So I know when Kittle was on with McAfee, and McAfee was talking about the distance, and Kittle was saying that the one thing the 49ers have done really well since Sherman kind of forced it on them is they've got the beds in the plane for the starters and they travel well. And like I just asked about the time because obviously someone's put here like a 20 to 25 hour flight from Tennessee. It's too much. And that's why I think that week 1 game had to go ahead. Yeah, because obviously they're going to fly them out just before. It's not like when some teams come to London, don't, and then they fly in on the Thursday, Friday, play the game, then fly back out. And I do believe that as soon as the game's finished, they'll be coming straight back to the US. So we'll see what that happens.
So a one-stop flight from London Heathrow to Melbourne is 20 to 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it depends how long you stop in between and all that. The problem with them is there's no stopping. It's, San Francisco straight to Australia. There's nothing to stop in between. We can stop because we go that way. They go that way.
Yeah, so
it's a bit
Justin's just put there, due to the time change, you get a whole day back on the way back.
Yeah, jet lagged like crazy.
And a fan's dropped in there, Richard's dropped there that he thinks the NFL pays for the travel for the overseas games, charter flights. So it's part of them growing the game. I think Richard Stockdale had shared earlier that he's not a fan of them playing in Australia. And I've seen that sentiment shared on socials. So disappointing for us. It's not London, but I'm not that.
We'll be playing in Germany next season.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And then the United Arab Emirates the season after that. And then possibly London.
Anywhere but the UK, basically.
Yeah. I think it's cool that we're going abroad. Like, it's whatever. It's not like you're going. It makes no difference to you. I think it.
Well, you say that.
The Niner brand is good. It's a good thing.
You say that.
You count it out.
Yeah, I haven't counted it out yet.
Yeah, I mean,
it is actually just
Oh, absolutely.
It's the same price as going to the San Francisco.
That's very true.
To be honest,
that is very true.
If I could choose any game,
Wrong, Kev,
if I could choose any game it to be, it would be game one. I think.
Oh yeah,
because teams are rusty then anyway, and a bit of travel in there, get it out of the way, get it done. If we lose it, we lose it. We've got a whole season to catch up on the back of it, so you never really know what week one's going to look like. So I prefer to have it done then, and then carry on with the season. A little trip to Mexico isn't too bad.
I like the fact that we're playing a divisional rival again in week one. Obviously, it worked out well for us last season, so I'm hoping for a similar result. The game did. Week one, we won week one.
Yeah,
meaning. So, you know, Najee, got to get there. And Mr. Graham is in the house. Neil,
you've missed everything.
Yeah, we've been talking for 35 minutes, Neil. Come on.
I can't believe the very first show where I give the surprise announcement at the start and you turn up halfway through, mate. Yeah, well, you're just going to have to rewind and watch it from the start.
Absolutely.
And
all those watch
party news.
Yeah, and Justin, appreciate you joining us. So, fellas, let's get back on track because Gareth would have reined this in well before now, but he's not here. Miss you, Gareth. The four fuckers. It seems like ages ago that we talked about this, that we announced the categories, the nominees, how to vote for it. And Kev, I'm sure you've got a spreadsheet there for us, haven't you, buddy? I hope so, because if not, this is going to be a short show.
It's just been deleted. Sorry, guys. I'll see you later. Right, let me share this. Here we go. So I've got all the different categories. Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's because both me and Najee are clicking to put it on the screen at the same time. Right. One's putting it on, one's removing it.
Well-oiled machine.
Yes, so each of the categories have been voted on. I think throughout this, there's quite clear winners in most categories, but it's always good to take a look over them and remind ourselves of what happened last season because, until this week when Paul reminded me, like, oh, you okay doing that show? I was like, oh, I've not actually looked at this myself. And last season is a bit of a memory, but it's good to reflect on the positives, maybe a few negatives in there. So, by far and away here was the Jennings touchdown throw to CMC. Some of these not even registering, but I think, you couldn't really argue with that being the play of the season, could you?
No, it was Mark.
I mean, it was the Purdy TD to Juice, 100%, but it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be
Each to their own. 17.3% of people agree with you, Najee, so you can't be all wrong.
I'll take it.
So clear winner there, and we all like a good rounded number 69 in results, don't we? Just to have a little giggle at as well. So it's always fun. Next category, offensive player of the season. Any guesses what the results might be before I scroll down slightly?
The Sergeant Christian. Could be Christian.
Slightly. Just creeping in. A couple of comments here as well. Shouts out to Matt Jones. I think everybody, obviously. He was never going to win offensive player of the season, but massive shout out to Matt Jones throughout all of last season. And Trent Williams.
Yeah. Well, that's contentious. It wasn't very good.
That is contentious.
For about 10 weeks.
I mean, if I can go and dig out names and we can name and shame them and ask them to justify themselves.
Oh, that would be very fun. But
everyone's entitled to their opinion.
They are. He was ridiculous for those last 5 games of the season. Let's just say that. Defensive player of the year. Go on, Najee.
No, I was just going to say, it's kind of... when we do these award shows, sometimes it's like, oh, this is a great discussion for this award. And then, like last year, because of the way the season went and PSO being so injured and basically Brock having no one to throw to, and JJ being injured and Kittle being in and out and all that, it was always going to be CMC. So it's good to see that people agree with us, I guess. But,
yeah, there's only going to be one. Yeah. Defensive player, do we think that's as obvious?
I think so. I
can't remember who I put in there.
It was weeks ago. I'm trying to think.
So long ago. Last season.
It's got to be up and start.
It was indeed up to the stout. Yes.
It was a lot closer, though. Yeah.
Yeah. D Winter's sneaking in there.
That is interesting. I'm glad Alfred Collins got some votes. That's really cool. Lenore not getting any. I know. There's some special mentions to him, 3 of them. But yeah, cool. I think he deserves
I don't think Lenore was on the list. I think that's why you didn't. No.
Yeah, I don't think he made the list. I think Gareth tried to beat the drum, but I think we rounded it to those were the choices, I believe. Peer pressure. I said that at the start of the show, Najee.
Fair enough. But it just shows. First of all, it just showed there's one big play, because the Alfred Collins punch against the Rams is probably the only reason he's on that list. Although he played really well all season, one big highlight like this just helps. But I'm happy for Upton Stout. I think we all agree he's not the best cornerback in the league, but I think we all like the way he plays the game. And that's just—it's just a fun guy to watch, and it's good.
He's going to get better. It's his rookie
season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We can see the potential. Yeah,
100%. He's been putting the work in. Seen on social media, he's been training, and posting, and so that's always good to see. You know.
That is good to see. It's almost like he's getting paid to do so, but
I think one comment there that actually got me excited for next season is the Michael Williams being a stud. I'm really looking forward to seeing him when he's back, hopefully full fitness and hopefully for a full season as well. That'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Michael back, and because he was ramping up as well before he came out, so such a shame to see him go out. And Richard, I think we got Hobbs for a special team more than anything. He's a special teamer more than a nickel.
Did we though? What about trading Ronaldo Green?
Yeah, there's that too.
Stout out to cornerback from the.
See, I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather have Stout in the slot, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what camp gives us. It's all very interesting, and this is why I'm thinking maybe we could go DB and expand that room a little bit.
Keep the comments coming. I am starring them because we're going through this, so I don't want to keep blocking Kev when we put the comments.
No, feel free to stop me
in the chat. So we'll go on, Kev. Next one up.
Well, could you imagine who could be Rookie of the Year?
It's got to be Upton Stout.
After all that chat, it was very much Upton Stout. Yeah. Few in there for Alfred Collins still. Again, I think that punch may have scored him a few there, but yeah, don't think you can argue against Upton Stout for either of those awards, to be honest.
What a season. 2 awards in the 49er Faithful UK Award.
The most prestigious award. The most prestigious one, yeah. Well done, Upton.
So before we move on to Unsung Hero, Paul, any comments you want to throw out there? Anything you want to bring up?
So Gav has joined us, and he believes that the D-line with Michael Collins, Osa and Bosa has the potential to be special. And Richard also agreed that Stout had an excellent rookie year. So yeah, it's.
So I think that's a good shout on the screen as well about Michael Williams. I mean, had he not gotten injured, he'd have been in with a good shout of rookie of the year.
Yeah. Because I think when it basically just landed on Bryce Huff and Colin Farrell, so it's just kind of like very difficult. But yeah, we imagine a full D line with everybody not injured. And I agree, Michael Collins, Osa, and Bosa. That's Bosa. That's going to be fun to say a lot.
Bosa singular or plural, perhaps. Still.
Yeah.
You never know.
Throwing up some. Yeah, that could still happen.
Well, he said he's not coming on a cheap deal, mind. So I don't know.
Did he? Didn't hear that.
Yeah, he has said he doesn't want to come on a cheaper deal. But I like that rabbit hole, Kev. Thrown it in there. Osa, that's going to be fun. We'll get a chant going at a watch party with a few fireballs, won't we?
Yeah.
So, next category, Unsung Hero. Just to remind you, we had Mac Jones, Eddie P, Sky Moore, Jake Tonjes.
Who's won it?
Good list. And I think that kind of leans into one of the comments up here about the defensive players for both sides of the ball, really. Like, shout out to the scouting team for bringing in players who could cover so well to give us such a good record on last season when it looked like the sky was falling in.
Yeah, true. Oh, I'm excited to see who's won this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Matt Jones.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
Matt Jones. Yeah. Interestingly, Jake Tonja's got more than Eddie P, which I thought may have been the other way around. But
I think highlight play, that touchdown against the Seahawks week 1. It's just super nice. And then Sky Moore, not too much. Had he scored, I think he would have had way more votes instead of falling on the 2 yard
You mean
line.
on that 98-yard run that you thought we were all lying about because you missed the first 5 minutes of the game? That
20 minutes.
That hasn't happened. We were like, it happened.
Yeah, damn 25 pass kickoff instead of 5 pass.
I do
It's
like
20
some of the
minutes again.
responses there, Kev. So that one there, it says, frankly, everyone, the next man up mentality was astounding. Kendrick's performance in Philly springs to mind. Somebody's put there, the need to be able to select more than one. Yeah, that's the battle that we all have. Robert Salah, Kendrick Bourne getting some love.
Kendrick Bourne, that was, Mike Jones deserved it. I think the Rams win, especially the Rams win, the first win.
Yeah,
that was huge.
What a win! Some people were calling for that win as a bold prediction, and I got laughed at.
gave us one of those best memes that we're going to be using for a long time. So
that was actually
just for that.
And then the one that we all want to hear, Kev.
This has got to be 100% on this. It's got to be.
The final one, which will be the award with a name that changes every year. So this will be the last time I think we shut down the whole of the group if anybody ever mentions this name again. So this is the last time we will speak it into existence. Devondre Campbell, Don't Let the Door Hit You on the Way Out award. So we did have Brandon Ayuk, Jake Moody, and the Blue Tent. So strangely, it was quite split. It wasn't as clear as you thought it might be.
Right. I thought Moody would get more votes.
I think Eddie P helped forget Moody, didn't he? I think the fact that Eddie was so good, it kind of
absolutely. Yeah. It's got to be BA.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I don't
and
like
yet he's still with us. Technically.
Well, to be honest,
post-June. It's a post-June. It's no freak out. It's post-June.
Well, you say don't freak out. I saw some stuff on social media a couple of hours ago where apparently part of the reason, the issues we've had with him, is he wasn't doing the rehab as he was supposed to. And the rumours are he might need another knee injury. So that could be massive because it might mean he might never play again. And I don't know the sources confirmed. It was just on social media when I was preparing for tonight's show. So I was like, Jesus Christ. If that is true, just goes to show that there's a lot more going on than what we probably thought, Najee.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it at length. I think there's definitely something else going on other than football. We've all seen it, I think, passing the stadium at 98 miles an hour, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a 50 zone or something like that, or maybe even less than that.
It's 50.
It's crazy, right? So there's definitely something else, the social media, the cryptic stuff. And so is it surprising that nothing's happened? I think it's a lot more complicated than just cutting him and getting rid of the contract because there's breach of contract and all that. And I think that's why it's taking a bit longer. Whether he needs another knee surgery or anything is... I think the biggest tell is that if he was truly committed to play football, somebody would have offered something for him. Because he was truly great when he played a couple of years ago. And, 1,000 yards. And he was insanely good. We were so excited to watch him play again. I think somebody would have given us a 7th rounder for him. Just to see, right? And the fact that there was no noise, absolutely nothing about potentially trading him for even a Fredo and a lollipop. It's just kind of like
see the price of Fredos these days. Jesus Christ.
Fredos are expensive. But I tell you what, it's still less expensive than contract.
Our American friends are thinking, what are these talking about now? But I had seen that talk, Najee, about the 7th round pick, and maybe we were obviously keeping hold of him as an asset, and why say we're releasing him now and let him go negotiate. But just seeing that news earlier about the knee, I hope it's kind of not true, but like you said, it might explain
at
why
this
there's been
point,
no noise. Might explain, because like you said, there's been nothing at all, has there?
Nothing,
And obviously,
yeah.
you
At
look
this
at the
point,
wide
I
receiver
don't really,
market.
I don't really care anymore. I just want him gone. Just want to move on. I hope he's okay mentally, and that he can sort his life out. Because I don't want to hate on the guy, but what he did to us is just not cool. Just let's get rid of him, sack him. You got the award, and then we can talk about
If
it
we
next
release
game.
him with an injury designation, does that mean he gets more money?
I don't know.
Potentially, depending on the contract, yeah. But because that's what I mean. Like he was in breach of contract, so I'm assuming they're trying to cancel it somehow. But it's probably not that easy with the collective bargaining agreement. There's a lot of law stuff that probably is at play here, and that kind of stuff takes time. So
I do like
we'll
the
see.
fact that someone has voted for Mr. Kent on that list.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
was-
Love that. That's great.
Yeah.
The substation,
Nice to see.
the
The
whole debate
substation.
there.
I was going to say, you can't.
Of course.
The substation, it's been a few weeks since that's been mentioned, so let's just bring that up again and get everything bubbling to the surface on that one again.
Didn't
Yeah.
realise Lee had wrote Jake Brendel on there. That was a bit controversial, Lee, that you've wrote there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad the Bluton didn't win it, because we do need it next year, probably. You know, it's a gruesome sport. Somebody's bound to get hurt or injured at some point during the game. We'll need it.
And does that concludes this year's awards, doesn't it, chaps?
It does. Very fun. Couple of surprises.
That
That's good.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a couple of extra nuggets as well for you. So, as well as collating that, I did some work on the votes throughout the season, both on Discord and the Score Prediction League. So, a couple
that's
of
very
things to
exciting.
highlight. Once
Once you find all who
yeah,
this,
go.
I still haven't got my tracking number for my trophy, Lee. So anytime.
Do you know why you haven't got your tracking number?
'Cause he's
So I was
lost
going
it.
to go and send it. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and as I was packing up, I thought, hang on here, Naji's moved out. I was going to send it to the wrong address.
Oh God!
So you
that
need
would
to
have
send
been
us your new address, mate.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that after the show.
We'll let you off then, Lee. We might have had a bit of fun when you've not been here the last few weeks, and Nadji's waiting for that trophy. We're going to have a special show just for Nadji to do a live unboxing.
It's all safe and sound, snugged up in my bed.
Oh God, I'm not sure I want it anymore.
And by the way, I sleep commando.
Of course you do.
We have some new people watching tonight, Lee. You know, just
First time and last
Anyway.
time.
So
Anyway,
for
go
all
on,
the
Cam.
new people, that's what Naji's waiting for. It's the Predict the League trophy.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we do have a couple of new people here. We play Prediction League, the four of us, with Gareth. Kevin isn't usually part. Although there is a league, and it's on Discord, so join us
There
there
is a
next
league,
year.
yes.
We'll
So
get
you can
that
see here,
going
Michael
again.
won it. Michael won it
Yeah,
last
nice.
year.
Well done, Michael.
So did well. So not only do I have a running total here that this is my fancy spreadsheet that I do every week and send it
the
around.
spreadsheet
Go
king.
to a nice
That is
table.
what I called you at the start. Look at this.
Oh,
beauty.
I like
Yeah.
that second tab down there.
So this is
I like
the
that.
yeah. I'm hovering over it. This is the dirty table. So I
Oh.
also logged who scored dirty points, and for all those who are new, that is anybody who predicted for the Niners to lose in a week. Obviously, Paul, I don't think you even register on this table at
No, it's
all.
not on the table.
That halo is glistening.
But Levi McKines, though, what is this?
Yeah, I
Eight-
did say he
eight?
was a serial
Ooh.
dirty
Yeah,
pointer many times. Although if you go down a bit more, Kev, is that number
Yeah,
five?
yeah, but down
Yeah.
scroll
five.
up past it.
Number 5.
Yeah,
Number
maybe
5, yeah.
these people with 4 and Lee
I think we
Garland
need
on
to,
Lee.
Faith check.
there.
Faith check.
Look at number 2. Our
Yeah,
very own
that's-
insider, Chris. I will
But-
be having words, my friend.
But
Chris
no,
and
no, no.
Mark
So
we're competing, weren't they? We're trying to anti-jinx us. I think
That's
was
it.
the
Yeah,
idea.
Mark
it was an
Yeah.
anti.
That's what they
thing.
say.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's what he said. That's what he said. It was a
Supposedly.
reverse psychology type thing. That's what they said. We're gonna have to do better next year, guys.
Yeah,
you need to let us know of all the people who didn't go against the Niners once, because I need
That'll
that
be fun.
list so I never ever take betting advice from them.
Yeah, don't take any from me.
Surprisingly,
So,
now
everyone-
obviously this will this will bring up any time you voted. So some people join after a couple of weeks and then like give up a little bit. But these are all the people here who had 0 dirty points against their name.
But that
Well
could
done,
mean
everybody on that list.
that could mean no. That could mean they predicted that we lost and got that wrong and got 0 points.
No, I
This
just
is the
I just
number
did
of
it
games you predicted against the Niners.
against. Yeah, whether it was a win or not
the
it was
points
just
you won.
any time you voted against. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
Because I know I won more than 4 points.
Quite a few people, and I see that Michael, our overall season winner, is in that list, so it is doable. It is doable. So
Michael deserves his title because not only did he predict better, he also predicted clean. Now that is impressive. So Michael, well done, and yep, everybody on that list, love you all.
Yeah, well done.
List
well
you
done,
want to be on.
Absolutely.
But no, Kev, that's impressive.
Yeah, total MVP votes as well. So at the end of every game, thread on Discord. So again, if you're new and you want to watch a game at 12:30 in the morning, 1:30, whatever it kicks off in Australia, then join us on Discord. We run a vote, and Purdy just edged out CMC this season.
Oh yeah,
which was quite impressive, seeing as though there wasn't as many games for him. A couple of spread around as usual, but yeah, Purdy came out on top on that one.
Interesting. Yeah, that's good. Let's go Brown with 1 as well. I can remember when that game was. Interesting.
Brown, week 12. Didn't he get a couple of picks or?
Yeah, maybe he got a really important pick or something.
So for the new people joining us, we have a Discord where when we watch the game, we have a game day thread. And at the end of each game, we vote for the MVP. And to be honest, when Discord was first launched, I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to go. I hadn't used the platform myself. And I think, Nadji, you championed it. Kev, you've come on board. You've helped, grow the Discord to what it is. At the time, I stayed out of it because I didn't want to add another social media app to my phone. But I have to say, fully converted. And I think the Discord community has added another level to what we're trying to grow on this side of the pond. So you don't have to be in the UK. If you are in America, Australia, wherever, and you want to join Discord, send us a message. We'll send you the link because it is very active and it is one of the most used apps on my phone. But Kev, that was pretty impressive work, buddy. So thank you for doing that for us, mate.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, Kev, for doing all this. It's amazing work. If you search for our Discord server, you'll find it. It's just 49 for the UK. But if you go on Facebook on our group, the link is in there somewhere in the pinned messages. But if you can reach any of us on there on socials, we'll send you a fresh link if it stops working because they have a habit of doing that, even though it's a permanent link.
The only kind of main rule that we kind of a bit of sticklers for is when you do join, we do want you to show your proper name, not a nickname, just so people know who they're talking to. But I definitely think it helps in the season, especially as Dan said, for us in the UK, when it's what we call a red eye game. So it's 1 a.m. You sat downstairs, you're trying to be quiet because the family's sleeping. You know you're not the only person up in the middle of the night, and you can have that bit of fun and that bit of banter. Yeah, I think the After Dark has definitely added it. And, it's quite funny, apparently, Kev, when, you quite calm the negative people. Because that was another reason for the Discord game day thread, is we wanted to have some positivity when we were watching the game. And I think
that's rule number 1, really.
That
is rule number 1 over there. No, we accept criticism. We accept sometimes games aren't fun to watch because we are not very good and we're losing. But we're still trying to keep it up and positive and fun and enjoyable for everyone, because negativity on top of negativity on top of it ultimately doesn't achieve anything and makes you even more miserable at the end. And what's the point of watching a game together? So that's why we champion a lot. We'll call people out, and you'll get taught very fast because everybody's very good at it. We don't even have to do it. Moderators don't even have to do it anymore. It kind of just organically happens, and it's pretty fun. And there's things like After Dark, and if you don't know what that is, join us and you'll find out. It's pretty fun too. I can't wait.
Before we answer Neil's comment, I think one of Kev's kind of, when he was like put his face in his hands moment, is when I didn't realize that admin had certain privileges that others didn't. and I think I dropped an F-bomb, and everybody was like, how on earth have you got that power? And Kev was like, yeah, I'll block everybody but admin. And then I think you turned it off for a game, didn't you, Kev, when it was
I do, yeah. Any of the after dark, the swear filter is turned off, which I've never seen a group of grown people act like children so fast as to when I turn that off. But yeah, all adds to the fun of it.
Absolutely.
I know Connor Ryan was very happy that it was turned off, but we've been asked a question. Will there be a Zoom chat for the draft this year? I think it's something we're working on.
I would need to speak to Sarah, because Sarah's the one with the Zoom license. I can well believe there would be one. But if there isn't, you might want to reach out to Brett, because Brett's trying to get me up to Falkirk, and I've told him I can't make it this year. So there's definitely plenty of space in there. But yeah, we'll look to set up a Zoom chat for everybody that's going to be there.
I'm never joining one ever again, because of the one time I did, and then we picked Trey Lance, not Mac Jones. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I lost 10 years of my life. It's sinking feeling. It was pretty fun. No, I'm joking. I'll join one if we can. It's really late and upstairs and here watching people sleeping next door. It's difficult to do.
Yeah, it's going to be a good draft this year. I think with only 5 picks, there's bound to be at least a couple of surprises turn up on the night.
Yeah.
So, chaps, we've been running for the hour. We're not religious at sticking to the hour, but I think we've covered the main topics. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about before we finish off? I'll start with you, Kev. Any final thoughts before we finish up?
I am good, thank you. Yeah, I am statted out.
No, that spreadsheet was impressive. Lee, you were about to say something, then I cut you off.
Yeah, so I hope the whole Trent Williams things get sorted out and we don't end up trading him or whatever. While he's coming to the end of his career, which is why he wants this final big payday, and the fact that he's no longer the highest paid left tackle in the league, hopefully we'll come to some arrangement and get him signed, because he is, I'm not going to say pivotal anymore, but he is very important to what we do.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm on the same page as Ty was last week. He's under contract. Just play the game, man. You've signed it. Just play the game. I get it. You want money, but I think we just wait it out and see what happens.
So,
but it'll
Paul,
get.
We will be doing a pre-draft show, so that is something we will be doing. So stay tuned for everything else. Najee, any more final thoughts?
I think we'll do loads of. We're going to ramp up to draft season. More. We'll do a fake mock draft or whatever it is, a live mock draft, I guess we should call it, and then we'll do a bunch of analysis and see who we actually want to pick and all that kind of stuff. We'll do some deep dive, and then obviously we'll do a recap and analysis of that when the draft is dropped, and then we'll probably do a show where we looked at the draft from 3 years ago, just to grade that, see how it panned out, because I think the consensus is 3 years is a good way of grading a draft, see where the players are and whether they're still with us or not, whether that draft was good. So we'll do that, and then we'll go into the dark ages of the season with OTAs and all that, where we've got nothing to talk about.
There's always something to talk about, Najee. We'll find something.
Substation's not going anywhere, Najee.
No, we do need to talk about substation and EMFs. Joking, we're not going to talk about that. No one cares.
Before we disappear down that rabbit hole, Najee, we're not talking substations now. I was just going to say, I think that is all we have got time for tonight. Massive thanks to the chaps for joining me. It is much appreciated. Absolutely quality as always. I couldn't do the show without you. Big thank you to everyone in the chat. You do make it more fun and interesting, especially when you see us going down a rabbit hole and you join in or you try and pull us back. Do all that good stuff. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next one. If you are watching back, do leave a comment. It is always good to see what people think of the content we're creating. And go Giants. MLB season starting tonight.
Go Giants, I guess. Go Giants.
And all that is left for me to say on that note is stay safe, faithful, and go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Cisco 49 is deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, D. Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99. Don't get it twisted, one and all with prime time. John Taylor, Jerry Rice down the